Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 3rd of January 2024. And today's Millwall news. Transfer news, but not about incomings, about possible outgoings. So we've got this from londonnewsonline.co.uk and they're talking about Palace. Now, what's that got to do with Millwall? Well, obviously, Palace have been linked with a move to Romain Esses. So they're saying Palace have bid rejected for Liverpool winger as transfer chief continues watching Millwall ace. Crystal Palace has seen a bid for Liverpool winger Ben Doak knocked back. The 19-year-old Scot is on loan at Middlesbrough. Palace's offer is believed to have been £12 million with a further £3 million in add-ons. A number of clubs are keen on Doak, and the noise is coming out of his parent club, although it would take a far greater sum to tempt them into business. The teenager has been capped by his country at senior level and has started his professional career at Celtic. Liverpool only had to pay a small amount of compensation when they signed him in March 2022. Doak has scored twice and collected 5 assists in 20 championship outings for Borough. Palace are also admirers of Mill's top prospect Romain Esses. The Eagles sporting director Dougie Freedman has been in attendance at a number of their matches and was again in the crowd on New Year's Day for the championship match against Oxford United. Esse has a release figure in his new long-term contract he signed in August. So, some people are kind of suggesting that because Palace have made a bid for this guy, that they're not going to come in for Esse. I think this guy, same age as Esse, but I think he's got a better pedigree. He started off as Celtic, he's gone to Liverpool, and he's playing in the Championship. He scored twice and 5 assists. Obviously, Romain Esses scored 4 times in the Championship in a team that's the lowest scorers in the league. So you could say, well, that you can't really compare them. But does this mean that they moved on from Esse? Maybe not. Maybe Esse is one of a number of targets that they're trying to get. But we'll wait to see. But if they thought that Liverpool were going to accept 12 million, now you would imagine that it's not like they're trying to get rid of this player. Like, they've just brought him in. They literally just paid compensation for him. And maybe there's like a release clause not a release clause, but like a percentage fee that is in the compensation to Celtic. So maybe they want more money, but I don't know if Liverpool have got any PPF problems or whatever it's called, financial fair play. I haven't heard any of that. I know Everton are in the do-do, and Man City are as well. Barcelona, teams like that. I haven't really heard of Liverpool being in that boat. So I don't think they're desperate in need to balance the books, but because obviously Liverpool have over the last 5 years, they bought a couple of players from Southampton for quite cheap. So then it's not like that they're splashing the cash on big money signings. So yeah. So this seems to a lot of people were saying, "Oh, does this mean they're not going to move for Romain Esses now?" It just means like Romain Esses might be. So obviously they do like, "Oh, this is our first choice. This is our second choice. This is our third choice. This is our fourth choice." So if they have made a bid for this guy, that would suggest that maybe he's their first choice. And then we have to wait to see, do they then go in to bid for Romain Esses, or do they wait? Obviously, we heard talk, what was it, 2 weeks ago, that they were looking at maybe buying Romain Esses out of his contract and then loaning him back for the rest of the season. Which is, there's talk that, he might be sold in the summer. It's very highly likely that he will be sold in the summer. And there was kind of rumours that Mill didn't want to lose him in this January, which kind of makes sense. I don't think anybody wants to lose players in January. So I think that's where that came from. Like, they probably knew that Mill didn't want to lose him, so they said, "Oh, okay, if we buy him but then loan him back, so you don't lose him, but you lose him." So they basically get him before everyone else does. But they may have been a bit too late. So again, from londonnewsonline.co.uk, we have this story. Growing band of Premier League clubs tracking Mill prize duel Romain Esses. A growing number of clubs are keeping tabs on Mill's attacking prospect Romain Esses. The 19-year-old South Londoner has been the subject of interest from Crystal Palace, with their director of football Dougie Freedman in attendance at some matches this season. But the Eagles are not the sole Premier League admirers of Esses, with Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Newcastle and Bournemouth also monitoring his situation. Mill secured Esse on a long-term contract earlier this season, but there was a release fee inserted in return for those improved terms. It means the Lions will be powerless to prevent the academy product from leaving if any club hits the figure, which is in 8 figures. Esse has scored 4 goals and claimed 1 assist in 22 matches this season. What is the point of this story? Like, I'm reading it to you. It exists on the internet. What is the point of this story? Obviously written by Richard Corley, published on londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press. Who is this for? This, to me, seems like an advertisement for Romain Esses. Is this clickbait? I don't think so. I don't think London News Online really do this kind of base level of clickbait. So what's the point of this story? To try and drum up a bidding war? To try and get someone to make a bid? Who asked for this story to be published? Someone at Mill, Steve Gallen? Someone at Crystal Palace? I don't understand what is this story? Why has it been? It's literally, look how small it is. It's not that long. It's nothing new. There's no new information here. Why did it get published today? Why? Very interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting why these things get done. So, talking of transfers, let's have a look at the transfer window so far, January 2025. This is from bbc.co.uk. You'll be seeing this quite a lot, over the next month until Monday the 3rd of February at 11 p.m. when the transfer window closes, which I imagine that might be quite a busy day for us if we do anything. I imagine it'll be quite late in the day. And, nothing from Millwall, really. Not even any rumours of any players coming in. But teams in our division have been making moves. Portsmouth getting Geezer from Bristol City on loan. I think that's because his contract was going to run out at the end of the season. It's one of those, obviously, players can start talking to other clubs from within 6 months of their contract running down. It's part of an agreement that's reached post-Bosman ruling, some contract law thing, because they're basically going to be unemployed. So they have a right to look for a new job. So, obviously, there's a lot of loans going on. Some loans in terms of loans from Premier League. Norwich have signed Lewis Dobbing on loan from Aston Villa. Plymouth have signed someone from, I believe that's Sweden, Michael Beidou. Interesting to see that, obviously not in our league, but someone from Shamrock Rovers. If you don't know what they've done quite well in Europe this season, and one of their players is moving to Barnsley. Preston have signed someone from Plymouth. That's not a loan, that's a fee. Derby have let someone go to Crawley. What else have we got? Sheffield United have let someone leave the country, and Preston have as well. So there you go. And that's just today. We've got a few yesterday as well. None of these are championship teams. And there were even moves on New Year's Day. So there you go. Like, there are moves being made by teams in our division. Now, talking of a lot of talk about Kevin Nisbet maybe coming back from his loan at Aberdeen, and some talk now about Kamal Grant coming back, or from the fans, after he scored for Bromley. I don't know if they watched him on Sky Sports or they just saw the clip of the goal, but just a reminder, he is a defender. They're talking about bringing him back and playing him instead of Murray Wallace, or just having him on the bench instead of Wes Harding, but that's based on a clip of him scoring a goal, not a clip of him doing defending and being a good defender. So, Kamal, this is the loan watch basically. Kamal Grant scored as Bromley beat local rivals Gillingham 3-0 at Priestfield on Thursday night, finishing off a move which included Ben Thompson. A centre-back completed a poacher's finish, which can be seen below, to give the Ravens a dream start to 2025. Elsewhere, Dylan Adai kept a clean sheet as Cheshire United defeated Hemel Hempstead Town 1-0 on New Year's Day in the Vanarama National League South. While Kevin Nisbet's free kick was not enough to stop Aberdeen going a 9th game without victory, the Loney scored in a 2-1 home defeat to Ross County. That's on BBC iPlayer's programme called Sports Scene. Funny to watch. It was absolutely belting it down with snow, and all of the players were basically in short sleeves. Well, I know it's Scotland, by the way. Scotland, Aberdeen. And scored from a free kick. He did one of those where he pinged it through the wall or around the wall and made it hit the ground just before the keeper. And the keeper just kind of like fucked it up and it went in. So I don't know if it's him being really good at free kicks or just the goalkeeper messing up. Chin Ockley and Tom Leahy were unused substitutes as Sutton United drew 1-1 with Aldershot Town, and Woking beat Maidenhead United 3-1 respectively in the Vanarama National League. Henry Hearn and Allchurch saw their game abandoned because of standing water on the pitch. With the score at 1-1 on 37 minutes, the Urchins now face a 302-mile, that's just one way, journey to Truro City this weekend. Yeah, Cornish, there is a Cornish team at that level. Is that National League South? No, that's the one. I think that's the one below. Hismian Premier. We got the goal here. Should we put it on? I don't know.
Will be the final switch. Now more defending to do. They could be in here again, and it's been.
So he's scored. But then, based on that clip that's been going around on Twitter, so, oh mate, we should get him back, bring him back from his loan. But he's a defender. Like, is he a good defender? Like, obviously he can score goals unless you want to play him up front. I mean, I'm not adverse to that. Obviously, we need someone who can score goals. But yeah, I think you'll find if you look at the stats, I was going to bring it up, but then I said I can't be bothered. If you look at the stats for Bromley and their tackling and defending and stuff, all of their midfielders do the tackling. The defenders do about half as much tackling as their midfielders do. So that's a fact. Does that mean he's not very good? No, not really. But he's doing well at League Two, so fair play. I think what you want, ideally, for an under-21 side is for them to produce professional footballers. And you would say, as a Millwall fan, for Millwall? And I would say, well, no, just in general. Because if you do that, then what you will get is you will get kids who want to be professional footballers, the best ones, come to your team and join it. Because that's what they want. They want to make money from playing football. They want to make a career out of it. Whether that's at Millwall or at anywhere else, doesn't really matter to them. Obviously, to us as fans, we want players who come through our youth team to play in our first team. And we want homegrown heroes, but to the kids and their families, they just want to have a good life and a career, in the professional football game. So whether he makes it at Millwall or whether he joins another team, Maybe he stays at Bromley. Maybe he goes somewhere else, a different club in League One. If he does that and he has a good career, and we can point to him and say, look, this guy came through our academy, you can do that as well. Yeah, it is what it is. So these are the upcoming fixtures. Obviously, there's again they keep moving Bromley's games for televisions. This has been moved to Sunday for 3 p.m. kickoff against Crewe, away at Crewe. Maybe that's just because they played it on Thursday. They played the New Year's Day game on Thursday, so they did them a favour by moving their game to Sunday. I don't know if that's on Sky. I assume it's on Sky Sports Plus streaming service. We have FA Trophy games for Chinockley and Tom Leahy. Henry Hearn, as that massive long trip to Cornwall. Wow. I imagine how many Hornchurch fans are going to go to that? More than can fit in one car? I don't know. Shamal Lawson. What's the weather like down in Cornwall? Is it still sunny? You keep hearing about the Isles of Scilly having a microclimate and being warm. I mean, how warm is it really? Is it minus down there? Is it still actually is it balmy? It's obviously not sunny and hot. But can you walk outside without a massive duffel coat on? I don't know. I did check the weather for tomorrow because I was a bit worried of a situation. I've been hearing a lot of games having pitch inspections tomorrow morning. High icy conditions, snow and stuff. Sheffield should be fine. There's no snow, no rain, nothing at all, apparently. But that was according to the Met Office, so I don't know about that. So, Lions prepare for Wednesday's test. But I thought it was on Saturday. Oh, it's Sheffield Wednesday. Okay, I understand. So, this is some pictures from training. So they decided to have the training session at the Den. I think it's because maybe they did the training session today and then they went straight up from the ground after the game in the coach. Maybe, or they just wanted to get away from the training ground because there's some kind of voodoo curse going around the training ground. Lots of people coughing and sneezing. Maybe the new chef's been poisoning the players. That's why they've been getting ill. I don't know. But that would be not ideal. So Millwall squad trained at the Den on Friday morning with temperatures plunging below freezing. Alex Neil and his backroom staff. Or maybe it's because obviously the Den has undersoil heating. Maybe it's that. Alex Neil and his backroom staff put the players through their paces in SC16 before making the journey to Hillsborough. Take a look at the best of the session below ahead of Saturday's Sky Bet Championship fixture against Sheffield Wednesday. There you go. Side to side, left to right. That's what he was saying. You got to move the ball. Adam Mayer. For some reason, Adam Mayer's front and centre quite a few of these photos. Tanganga there looks like he's about to rob someone. Roadman. Billy Mitchell there. Jensen. Bangor Williams. Alex Neil keeping a keen eye on him. Connell Truman. Remember him? And there's Hutch. And Adam Mayer again. Honeyman. And Hutch. Ivanovic. Martin Canning. And Bradshaw. Esse. Joe Bryan. Wintle. Still here. Hasn't gone to Cardiff. Hasn't gone back to Cardiff. Wintle. Will he play tomorrow? Will he start? Don't know. And then we're back round. So there you go. That's what the players are doing today. While you were at work or skiving off because you got the week off for Christmas. Now, we will preview and predict tomorrow's game away at Sheffield United by starting with 11v11.com, the historical record of matches between Sheffield Wednesday and Millwall. The first one was in 1906 February, and that was a 1-1 in the FA Cup. We didn't win there, for many, 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 many games until we got to the 1970s, 1975. We won up there 1-0. Division 2, March 1975. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday, big club, big club, massive club. So we haven't played them that many times. It's quite a big gap, obviously, from 1906 to 1939. So the first game we played them in the league was in 1939. And then a few after the war, and then a massive gap until 1970. Because we weren't in the same division, you know. They were higher than us, we were lower than them. Big club, big club. Some would say the biggest club in Sheffield. So there are a few defeats. There's quite a few heavy defeats. You know, 3-1, 3-0, 3-2, 4-1, October 1975, and then we go back to losing throughout the 90s. You know, and then 2000s. Obviously, not really a big club anymore. They've kind of come down a bit. They go into Division 3 where we are. And then back up to the Championship. We start winning up there more often than not, really. 1-0 win in 2002, 2-1 win in 2005. We lose 3-2 in August 2012. A couple of draws, a couple of defeats, 2-1 in 2017, 2-1 in 2018. And now, the most 3 recent games, a 0-0 draw, both in 2020, February and November, different seasons. A 4-0 win. Joe had that famous win up at Sheffield Wednesday, Joe Edwards' first game in charge. 4-0 win. So we are unbeaten in our last 3 visits to Sheffield Wednesday. We have not conceded a goal in our last 3 visits to Sheffield Wednesday. So there you go. That is interesting, is it not? Is it not? Now, moving on to this from whoscored.com. The last 6 games, as we've just seen, 5 goals for them, 7 goals for us. Over 6 games, that's not a lot. So very low scoring affair. Obviously, because 2 of those games were 0-0 draws. 12 yellow cards for them, 7 for us. 1 red card for us, and we lost that game 2-1. That was in October 2017. So overall, the last 6 games, we have lost 2, won 1, and drawn 3. So a lot of draws. If we look at the table as it stands at the moment, they are in 9th on 36 points. We are 13th with 29. They won 10, drawn 6, lost 9. Scoring 36, but conceding 38. They do not have a good defence, but they can score like the Clappers. We have won 7, drawn 8, lost 9, but that is a false picture of the situation, because if we move to the home form, Sheffield Wednesday home form, won 5, drawn 4, lost 4, scoring 20 and conceding only 18. They've won their last 2, home to Stoke and at home to Derby. But for away games, this is how we are. We have won 1, drawn 6 and lost 4. We have only scored 8 away goals in 11 away games. That is horrendous. And we've conceded 11 away goals in 11 away games. So our away form is horrible. Absolutely horrible. And tomorrow is an away game. If we look at the form, this is the form over the last 6 games. They've scored 13 goals in 6 games. That's more than 2 a game. But they have conceded 10. We've scored 2 goals in our last 6 games, which is why there are people, including myself, talking about maybe possibly recalling Kevin Nisbet, as he is literally the only striker that we have that is a proven Championship goal scorer at this moment. All of our other options are dead in the water, or not good enough yet. We hope that they will improve. But they're not a championship quality right here, right now. Which is what we need, because we can't score for toffee. Although, we have only conceded 5 goals in our last 6 games, which is less than a goal a game. So if we could only score some goals, we could win some games, which would be nice, because we've only won 1 of our last 6, and that was home to Blackburn with a late goal. That was a game that was heading to 0-0. So, if we look at the last 6 home games for Sheffield Wednesday and the last 6 away matches for Millwall, you can see keeping 2 clean sheets on the road, away at Swansea and away at Coventry. That Coventry game was very much a game where we played for that 0-0 draw. It was a game where we could not lose that game, because obviously they would go above us in the table and we would drop quite a bit. So that we had to do that. That was, attritional play in not losing that game. Especially after we were so open going to Norwich, and we ended up conceding 2 goals at Norwich. The other games we've played, the last 6, we've only conceded 1 goal against Stoke, 1 against Oxford, and 1 against Middlesbrough. We've only failed to score. To be fair, we've only failed to score in 2 of our last away games. The one at Middlesbrough and the one at Coventry. All the other games we scored at least 1 goal. So when you think our last 6 away games we scored 4 goals, and if I go back to this and go to this, you can see we've only scored 8 away goals all season. So 4 of them have come in the last 6 games. So are we improving? I don't know. I think, I don't know. Whereas if we look at Sheffield Wednesday, they've only failed to score against Blackburn at home. They've conceded against Cardiff 1 goal, Preston 1 goal, Blackburn 1 goal. They conceded 2 against Derby, but that was a 4-2 win. And they've kept clean sheets at home against Norwich and Stoke in a game where they had a player sent off against Stoke. So that's a bit of a mixed bag, really, isn't it? If we go now to... If we look at these match facts first. So match facts. There have been under 2.5 goals scored in 16 of Millwall's last 17 games. Millwall kept a clean sheet in 6 of their last 8 matches against Sheffield Wednesday in all competitions. So that's home and away. Home and away. Because I just showed you the last 3 away games. A clean sheet in 6 of the last 8 matches against Sheffield Wednesday. And that's the way. I think that's the way forward. If you can't score, you've got to keep a clean sheet. Millwall failed to score in 5 of the last 7 matches. Yes, don't we know it? So let's move on to the prediction from whoscored.com. What do they predict? Haven't seen all of that. We have a big injury list. Them, not so much. Prediction. Sheffield Wednesday scored 3 times in a 13-minute spell on Wednesday, with Josh Windass beating the goalkeeper from inside his own half. The Owls went on to beat Derby 4-2, meaning they head into game week 26 looking for a 3rd consecutive league win at Hillsborough. Alex Neil's tenure as Millwall manager got off to a miserable start on New Year's Day as the second half Ruben Rodriguez strike sent Oxford United away from South London with all 3 points. Can you call a header a strike? Obviously, I think they've just seen that he scored and called it a strike. They don't know that it was a header. I don't think you can call a header a strike, obviously. The Lions are winless in 5 away league games ahead of their trip to Hillsborough on Saturday. And they predict Sheffield Wednesday 2, Millwall 0. It's a 2-0. Match forecast. Sheffield Wednesday will steal the ball from the opposition often. Millwall will score from a set-piece situation. No chance that's going to happen. Millwall will steal the ball from the opposition often. Probably. So, do we have 2 teams that like to steal the ball from the opposition? That's going to be great, isn't it? We take the ball from them, they move it forward a bit, we take the ball back. Fun times. Fun times. So 2-0 they say. Let's move on to this. I'm not going to read all this, I'm just going to go to the prediction. Because why not? Why not? Let's save us a bit of trouble and a bit of time. We say sports. Oh, this is from sportsmail.co.uk, by the way. We say Sheffield Wednesday 3, Millwall 1. With confidence from a convincing home win on New Year's Day, we back Sheffield Wednesday to keep building momentum with another dominant display and victory at Hillsborough against the Millwall side struggling for form. Okay. And I think a lot of people agree. 64% are backing Sheffield Wednesday, 25% for the draw, and 10% for Millwall. I think obviously you've seen pictures of Alex Neil at training. He's clearly telling them some things to do. One thing notably not in those pictures was David Livermore. We did not see David Livermore. We saw Martin Canning. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Is Alex Neil about to put his mark on the Mill team? Is he about to tell them how they should be playing to get the results that we all want to see? Maybe, but I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon. I would be very surprised if we won this game. Look, we need to score if we can win? Can we score percentage? If you play the percentages, it's unlikely that we're going to score. Really, let's be truthful. And if we are, we're going to score at least one goal. Can we keep a clean sheet? Almost certainly. If you ask me to bet on whether we would keep a clean sheet or whether we would score, which one would I favour? I'd favour us keeping a clean sheet. So then you would think, well, can we then score? Do we have to put so much effort like we did at Coventry in keeping that clean sheet that affects our ability to score? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But I think it does. I think what's going to be... I think, personally, it's going to be 0-0. I think we're going to see a repeat of the Coventry game. We have no cutting edge up front. No cutting edge at all. So, we don't have any height. We did have that in Jake Cooper. We don't have any pace. We did have that in Namaku. We have trickery in Romain Esses, but you're playing him out wide and he's crossing it in. To who is he crossing it in? We saw at the game, what was it, a Norwich game? You play him in the 10. Instead of running around creating stuff for other people who then waste those chances, he runs through the middle and creates a chance for himself and scores. If you play him in the 10, tell him to do that. But I don't know what we're going to see tomorrow. I still think it's a little bit too early. This is only the second training session that they've had because they've been giving the players days off after the games because there were so many games over such a short period of time. So we wait to see. But I'm going to go 0-0. On that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.